Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I have to start this out today by saying I've outlived my expectations. So to me, everything else that I now experience is beyond my expectations. And because it is, I've had a chance to do a little review so far as what I grew up with and where I moved from then to now. I consider myself fortunate to not be born right at this particular time, but to have had the expansive experience from when I was a child and how things were then, to see how things are now for people coming into the earth experience. I feel like I was blessed, gifted, even though it's not to say that people weren't goofy back then, or that things weren't a little crazy back then, but to compare then to now, things are just out of proportion crazy. So it's helped me to see that even though I didn't realize it back then, there was the opportunity that my life is, and I'm going back to then, seeing it from then as it is to now, seeing it as is. And the awakening that I have been challenged and encouraged to experience has enhanced my appreciation of life to a great degree. To where I can look at the word trust now and go back exponentially and see where I was with trust even as a child, and the different experiences that I had with life, with people, with circumstances, and to see the in and outs that I had with trust. Which I'm saying all of this to stimulate you in your own recollection to see how you have grown with regard to trust in your own life. Many experiences that I had provided me with a limited sense of trust and perhaps in some instances, a greater sense of distrust, to where I was afraid. I was afraid of life. I was afraid of myself. I was afraid of relationships. And I allowed that distrust to stimulate me in many of the choices that I made. But I didn't stay there. So, in respect, and in that perspective, I would say, regardless of regardless of appearances, trust the flow of life. I say that from an experiential appreciation. I haven't always had it, and sometimes I have to stop myself to regain it because I lose it with the appearance of fear in my experience. But again, I say it, and I say it with a sense of appreciation. Regardless of appearances, trust the flow of life. Someone defined trust as having a confidence in the unfoldment of a situation. So you might could say, all right, trust is a form of confidence, or confidence is a form of trust. Well, where are you going to start with? Most of us find ourselves in external experiences that are prompting us to look and see, where is our trust? What quality do we have? What is the degree of trust? And usually it's in relationships with other people. But we're usually so unconscious that we don't realize that our own trust in ourselves is in many instances the determining factor as to how much we allow ourselves to trust someone else. We're even so unconscious that we fail to realize that we're sending out energy of discomfort, of insecurity that is automatically attracting to us others of a like vibration, because life is saying, here's your opportunity. So, that then brings into the picture where we are with life, even if we are unconscious, and where life is with us, regardless of where our degree of consciousness may be. Life is always providing us with opportunities to experience who we perceive ourselves to be and what we perceive life to be. So if we find ourselves attracted to people that we then come away with a sense of, I don't feel comfortable with you. Well, okay. Well, maybe it's because you don't feel comfortable with yourself. Or maybe you don't feel comfortable with them because they don't exude a sense of trust that would make you feel more comfortable. Is this making you feel comfortable? Probably not. And it's really not designed to make you feel comfortable. You see, what I want to do is I want to stimulate you to where you and yourself choose to grow in your awareness of trust, to where then, like a good scout, you become more trustworthy. And who is the one who's the most worthy of your trust? You. You are. So, what about trusting people? I think I started out somewhere in there. Do you have a confidence that they are for your highest good? If you do, then you have a radiant sense of trust. Perhaps you need to look a little deeper and see that you're trusting their words, that what they're saying is true. You're trusting their actions, that what you're saying is you have a confidence that they're coming from a pure place. And you're trusting their alignment to where what they say and what they do is a match. If you have that kind of a relationship with another, I hope you appreciate it. Because it's something that you have earned, and you've earned it because of what you are choosing to generate in yourself, toward yourself. And where is life in all of this? Oh, life is off watching TV somewhere, and it just happened by accident. Well, of course, you wake up to the extent to where you realize life is right there providing you with this opportunity, and usually what it is you have grown into this relationship. It didn't just, boom, spring on you. You've grown into it. You've, in the process of meeting someone else that you felt was worthy of your trust, you've come to a place of becoming more worthy of your own trust, to where you've chosen to be a match. And if you weren't a match, then you've chosen to grow in that to where you can be at ease being you, and then present yourself to another feeling, I'm safe. I don't have any hidden agendas here. I'm not compromising myself. I'm going to open myself up and trust that this is what I'm going to meet and this is what I'm going to encounter. So really, I've touched upon things that look and see. How can you build trust within yourself? By assuring that your actions are aligned with your words. In other words, you walk your talk. You actually live that person that you admire in you to the extent that the admirable you becomes the dominant you. and you feel good about it. I think our mental tendency, the tendency of the mind, is to always be looking for a problem with someone else. Always looking to find the fault in someone else. Failing to realize that having that kind of mentality diminishes your own appreciation of yourself and keeps you locked down into those interactions. Even if they don't exist, if they exist up here, then they're going to be prevalent in your experience. So, then comes the word that we hear about all the time, regardless of whether it's in Christianity and normal experiences, love. Okay, where are you in relationship to love with yourself? And then where are you in relationship to love with life? And then where are you in relationship with love to others? We have been misled in believing that passion is the main expression of love. And as all of us know or will know, that's just not so. Because as we awaken, we begin to look and see the motivating factors that lie deep within us that often try to remain hidden from us because they know if ever we discover our inner self, we're going to make some adjustments. We're going to get pure in our love because we're going to feel that purity as an essential to our sense of well-being. So that then, because we are choosing to live love, it's much easier for us to be trusting, trustworthy. We begin to experience love and trust are naturals that go together so well. So, while this may seem like it's only a personal sharing, it really isn't. I just found it would be a lot easier for me to talk about my shortcomings, my limitations, and use them as an example than yours. Don't we agree? See, if I had you up here and said, now here's an example. I did. That might be a little too much for you. So, take this into account. That trust, like love, is a learned experience. So I'm encouraging you to consistently practice trust. Be aware, be consistent, be present. And the earlier things that I was saying about experiences that cause you to feel uncertainties, learn to discern. You have discernment. You have that capacity. Learn to be present with what's going on. Look inside yourself and see what kind of a response you're having to what's happening. And see, is this the true me? Or is this the insecure me who's reacting and trying to drive me away from being honest with myself? So, if you can take this and put it to practice in yourself, you're going to be a much healthier, happier person. And consequently, that's going to be what you radiate, you generate, that then becomes the energy field that affects life and is revealed to you through the law of attraction. And these are things that you find out on your own, which, isn't that the way it works? Isn't life pretty personal? You better believe it is. So, wherever you are in this, look and see. You came here today because a part of you knew that what you would hear would benefit you if you chose to benefit yourself. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.